sorry for these things. I'm really not a YouTuber or professional streamer, and still working on this and trying to make it work, right? So let me just check quickly here, and if all looks good, we will continue. Seems like it's not working to me, which is again bullshit. And why the fuck is this not working? Ah. It's not working. Okay, so it's streaming. Why not on YouTube? Okay, why is it works, okay. So, fuck me. Anyway, we go here. We are on the dollar index, right? So I will take it very quickly today because it's not worth to waste time, right? So here we have dollar index, right? We are trading close to this low, which we've been talking about yesterday, and also we are here in this order block and the fair value gap on the bigger time frame, right? We had the small manipulation here on this of this monthly low, right? But still we are also having this weekly range, right? Weekly range low in here, Friday's range low in here, and if we drop to daily, right, here we can see, so it's basically a Thursday low, Friday's low, and Monday low are very close, these three lows, right? So in here, in my opinion, we got a lot of liquidity below, and I do not think that we will go higher just like this from here. I still think that we will dig a little bit deeper because we got FOMC, and I think that it's going to be used for this manipulation here, right? So currently I'm not anyhow excited. Hope you had, hello Dean, yeah, holidays was great. So I'm not any excited to do anything to in here because it's in the midpoint of this range, right? And I just do not want to simply enter the longs on the dollar, right? So here is the euro, and similar situation, right? So we actually reaching the monthly CLS high in here, right? But still we got this Monday range in here, right? We are also on the key level. We got the weekly range high in here, right? Monday range high in here, right? So as said, I would like to short it. I'm definitely not going to look for the long in here, but I would like to be shorting above these two, right? Above here, right? Not gonna play here, right? Because where I would have to put stop losses somewhere in here, right? Or maybe somewhere higher to hope not to be taken out, which is not part of my trading plan, right? So what else actually can happen is that basically the price can drop lower, right, sharply into this daily order block, right, and then go higher, right? That can happen also. And I got here this line, right, which is basically the daily low. Let me show you this daily low, right? This is this up candle, this last up candle currently. So if we close on the daily down here below this line, right? Hello my friend, hello Riyad, hello everyone, right? So if we close below in here, that confirms that this is a order block, right? So once that happens, if that happens, that we're gonna get a daily close below here, right? Then most likely reaction from this order block would be just a smaller one into the midpoint of this candle, right? And then from there we could be looking for the short side to these lows, right? So Again, in this situation, it's not any exciting, right? We can see that the forex is actually a little bit boring for the last few days. Actually, it's almost a month, right? So the recent trade, which I had the profitable one, was the big short in here, right? That was one of my best months. And then we could see the immediate creation of this daily order block, right? And then if you didn't catch it in here or then in here, right? Then in here it was this tight consolidation, right? And not really any manipulation for the entering too long, right? So I actually let myself to catch in the short in here, right? And had one loss in here, right? And what to do now, right? To switch to bullish side here on the top, right? I tried short here, right, because the price went above this and I was thinking like we could get a pullback lower, right? However, price went higher, right? So this trade was this, right, when I have entered. Actually, it was during the stream, so might some of you entered with me, right? So we have entered in here, right, expecting the price to drop to retest this, right, like a intraday short-term trade, right? Then price been ranging, went a little bit lower, right, and there we closed it. I mentioned that also in the Discord that I'm closing the trade, and I actually ended a here, right? Right, so I have made $15. So yeah, anyway, that's for the euro in here. So again, I am not going to play anything inside here, right? It's not saying that's not possible, but it's not part of my strategy. Also, you can see in here we got these two quite equal highs, right? So do not want to short before the high time frame, before the important news FOMC, right, below these two equal highs, right? So staying off on the forex right now. Let's check the GBP, right? Again, similar situation, right? We are reaching this key level, right, from the weekly, which is this level, right? From where we had this last up candle, and then from here we had the force down, right? What has happened from this order block, right? It broke through these two lows, right? So in my opinion, after this up move, we could get something, some potential setup for the move down, right? So it's this key level, right? Here is a previous month high, right? So we've been trading above it once. Then we had here the false break, right? It's this key level, right? Here is a previous month high, right? So we've been trading above it once. Then we had here the false break, right? And then manipulation of those who enter this market structure shift, right? Manipulation taking, right? So I would like to see a price trading above it, and there I would like to be looking for the change in order flow. Good morning, Roma. And then I would like to be looking for the change in order flow, right? So again, what I got in here, this last up candle, right? I got alarm in here. If we close on the daily below this candle, it means in here, right? And also below of this last order block, below a midpoint of it, because this order block was already tested, right? When it was created in here. Once this candle closed above and take these highs, it became order block, right? Order block has been tested in here, then price start to consolidate in here. But where is the next level of this order block? In the midpoint, right? Which is in here. So the price still can react. But if we close below this up candle, right? Then this up candle will become our order block on the daily, right? And if that daily candle closes below this order block, right, below midpoint of it, it means that it will most likely go lower, right? So that's a situation which I'm waiting for. If we go above here, I would be happy to look for the lower time frame change in order flow on the 1 hour and short it, right? Really big short. If that's gonna play out somewhere around here, right? Especially if we have tomorrow this. Let me take you. Especially if we have tomorrow, right? So it's a today, so we have USD core retail sales, these things, right? But tomorrow is a FOMC, right? A lot of these news, right? I think that they're not gonna change, right? Although the Trump is pushing the power to change, but I think there's gonna be some manipulation, right? So that's what we can wait for, right? We will see how the price gonna trade in here. So that's on the pound. Now we're going to look for the gold, and I actually like current situation on the gold, right? You probably already see it, but let me break it down from the weekly perspective, right? So we can see it's a clear uptrend continuation, right? We can see the lows being rejected, the highs being broken, right? Rejected low, broken highs, rejected lows, right? Now we're going to probably break these highs, right? So in my opinion, if we go to the daily, there was beautiful daily range created yesterday, right? This I was speaking about this yesterday, that we most likely coming from this low, right, after these lows been rejected, to these highs, right? I think he was actually nice setup also. If I remember well, Adrian had a trade in here. If you still hold it, you are the man. And right now we can see in here, I'm getting the setup right now in here, right? Here was also the setup, but it was last Monday. Now we got the Monday range in here, right? Price is dipping below it, right? And everything aligns with the setup, right? So let's break it down, right? So what we can see? We can see that the price has been dropping lower in here, right? Below these lows, and it's been rejected, right? So what does it mean? It means that this down candle is what? Is order block, right? Let's go lower time frame. Good morning, Peter. Right, so it's our order block. If we look to these last two up candles, right, it's also breaker, right? Up candles, then down, it's breaker. If you draw like this, right, it's a order block, right? It's perfect if it aligns like that, right? And also we can see the fair value gaps in here, right? They've been tested, but just with the wick, right? Now we have a dealing range, right? Where is the discount? Below here, right? So this level is in the discount, right? Now we have our range created above it, right? It has dipped below, but for me, this wick is not enough, right? I want to see a big drop in it, right? Big thick candle in here, right? Dropping down here. I don't need this one. Right, so we got this daily fair value gap, this breaker, this order block. Here is a Monday range, right? So now you basically know what to do, right? You need to wait to price reach this level, right? Create the change in order flow on the 1 hour, and then you're ready to go, right? For this. So that's what I'm watching on the gold currently, and I'm going to actually put alarm here. So that's gold, right? Next one will be USD JPY. Here's nothing for me. Let me show you. This is quite ugly range, right? I'm not so brave to take any trade in here. because we got, if you look to weekly, you see this is something you really don't see, like what I can do, maybe draw this like a range, right? But you don't want to trade anything in here in the midpoint, right? So you can draw this weekly range, right? Set up alarm here, right? And because it looks to me like we will go for these two lows, right? But I do not want short here. I would like to short here, right? So I got alarm, and currently this market is not interesting for me, right? Next one, GBP JPY. We've been saying that we will try to track this one. Here was actually something I seen in here, right? Like if you remember last time, we have seen these two equal highs, right? And we've been saying that the price will most likely go up in here, right? So what has happened is that this was supporting the price, right? Let's try to find it if some setup was there. Look, we have the Monday. Look, here was the Monday range, right? So below this Monday, right, it was possible to buy. You have Monday range, right? You have the key level. So possible to buy in here, right? Holding up there. All right, maybe possible. Also, what I liked in here was this drop, right? This would be also possible to trade. It's not exactly like with our strategy, but if you have like a clearly already, see, right? You have like 1, 2, 3, right? And then you have this big drop, and then price closes above it, right? Then you can join the continuation into this liquidity, because what has happened most likely in here, right? In here, right? People shorted, right? They shorted because they start to think this is going to be like a triple top and price will go lower, right? So this is possible to join, and that's actually something which I have traded similar thing yesterday on the Nasdaq. But let's finish the Forex first. Here is a USD CHF, right? Quite nice chart in my opinion. Don't need this one. Let me show you on the monthly, right? We're reaching this level on the monthly. It's a midpoint of this down candle, right? And you can see, again, we have this big candle, right? And it's a monthly CLS range, right? So I think it would be nice if we go below it, right? And then we could get some reversal, right? Of course, it doesn't mean that I'm going to open a trade and hold it like this. But it is actually in my goal in a trading to start to trade these monthly ranges and use the lower time frame entries and stay in the trades for the long term, because I think that's where the money is, where the biggest money is really made instead of the day trading. So that's what I see on the monthly. If we go down to the weekly, right, we can see the price is clearly going lower, right? So last week has closed below. So what's the potential for this week? Most likely going lower again, right? So everything aligns that we most likely going lower, right? Here we have this quite bigger candle, right? Thursday, right? So it's a Thursday range. Here is a Friday range, Monday range, right? So this Thursday range I had highlighted last week, but what I'm going to do is to highlight this, right? So that's this Friday's range, sorry, Friday's range, and okay, sorry, right, like this. So we have Friday's range and Monday range, right? We have also the fair value gap in here, right? And we have we can use this, probably I would say this up candle, which is aligning with the midpoint of this, right? So Now what we can see, right? We can see that yes, price is reacting on this level, but it can look, right? It's much deeper. If you go lower time frame, you can make it even more precise, right? It would be even lower, maybe somewhere down here, right? These down candles, maybe on weekly, right? This is always difficult in here to find it, right? Maybe these gaps would be a even better level, right? Or if we measure this candle, you see it's aligning with the midpoint of this candle, which is quite fine to me. Right, so price could go even lower here. Anyway, here is what we see on the daily, right? So the target would be here, right? Once the price gets above here on the 1 hour and start give us a change in order flow, right, we could be shorting, right? That would be a nice setup. That would be one we'll definitely will be looking for. Now we have USD CAD. Here we've been drawing something. Look, the next candle closed below, next one is closing below, right? Most likely going even lower. This situation for me in here is like, let's adjust, right? Yes, we're reaching this key level, right? What we can draw is maybe this weekly range, not maybe, but that's what we have to draw, sorry, right? Weekly, and we're waiting, right? So if this week's close manipulates as it manipulated, right, into a key level, which it is, right? It's if it goes inside, then we can trade model number 1, right? For the short, because it's a downtrend right now, you don't have chance for the short right now, right? It's too low. You don't want to be shorting here, right? You want to be shorting something like this, right? When you have a clear downtrend, but you're taking out daily or Friday's range or the Monday's range into a key level, right? And you have clear draw on liquidity, right? So nothing on the USD CAD. Now Nasdaq, I had actually quite nice I took just one trade, but I've been watching this and I've been drawing this trade also, and it's something actually I want to start to focus on, because this chart I've been studying it a little bit, and it's really perfect because as a 9:30 US time, New York time, it always makes some manipulations. Not always, obviously it's not gonna be always, but there is a quite often nice moves intraday, right? That's why many people are trading it intraday, right? And let me show you this one specific trade. I might start focus a little bit more on the Nasdaq later, because it's just like 2 hours of trading in a day, right? So what has happened in here, right? You come to the charts somewhere in here, it was yesterday, right? You start to draw the things. So you draw the previous day's highs, right? Another day's highs, right? So what you see, this candle, this move, right, rejected, right, taken the low, right? So you're drawing your level, right? It would be this breaker, right, this candle, or also it would be counted as a order block, right? It's very similar, right? Then price is consolidating. 9:30, you have the manipulation, right? Obviously that would be the more perfect if you catch the trade in here, right? Like that, because that's a trade, right? It would be great. However, it didn't happen to me, and this is traded on the 1 minute, right? You want to be more kind of confirmed, and you want to be joining the train when it is already running, right? And that's why I like the Nasdaq, because I realized that it's giving these chances, right? So you get this manipulation. You don't need to be precise, or you don't need to be taking this risky entry in here when you don't know how deep it's going to go, right? But when as you can see, is broke through this daily high, right? It has retested, right? Took this low, right? Created order block with the close above in here, right? Also with the fair value gap, right? Also this is what? This is also the breaker, right? So you have the order block, you have the breaker, you have the fair value gap, right? And then you enter, you put your stop in here. Obviously, you know, I do not want to be like you put the stop loss here, right? That's it. And then you targeting the another previous day's highs, right? So that was the trade. I've been just let's say paper trading or the monitoring here, right? So this was the one trade, and then I had a second trade. This is the one which I really took, right? So let me show you. We actually had this CLS range, right, on the 1 hour. Right, you had the CLS range. Next candle has closed above, right, but it was a candle that kind of went for this liquidity, right, in here. Sorry, actually on the 1 hour, right, went for this liquidity in here, and then you're looking on the 5 minutes, right, because from the 1 hour it's on the 5 minutes. So you have this manipulation above, right? Then you can see this down candle, this one, which is closing below these up consecutive candles, right? It was actually like this, right? And then you're looking for the entry on this order block, right? So you can enter actually exactly in here, or you can enter in here in this fair value gap, right? So that's where I have entered yesterday. There's the model number one. Targeting, I've been targeting this low, right? This low in here, right? And that's how it played, and make $100, 112, right? I used a small lot because Nasdaq is something what I'm learning at this moment, but I quite like this market because it's kind of really sharp, right? If you compare with the Forex, I do not want to say the Forex is bad or something like that. However, I don't find this, I don't find it recently too good, right? It doesn't mean that I'm going to change the strategy, change the markets, nothing, right? I just want to study a little bit more this Nasdaq, right? And maybe also the DAX, right? So that would be, that's it probably for today. Now we have this is what? This is Bitcoin, right? So in my opinion, most likely going higher. And then I actually entered this Dogecoin, right? So expecting a big move in here. So I'm in the Doge, I'm not in the link yet, I'm in the H bar also, right? Entered the H bar, it dropped a little bit, but again, I'm not trying to predict some tight stop, right? I have a room, and my invalidation is below this midpoint of this order block, right? So below 0.135 or something like that, right? So we will see if they will go, and yeah, so that's for me. If anyone has any questions, just ask, guys. I'll be happy to answer. Overall, if I look to the dollar index and these dollar pairs, right, we quite getting this big down move, right? Something like we had in here, we getting in here, right? So most likely we are getting somewhere to the point where we will see the reversal, right? Yes, I get it. I get all of these fundamental things, dollar printing, dollar whatever, right? But still, that they are printing and inflating dollar, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a lot of weaker against the other fiat currencies because they are also printing, right? These central banks are printing all together, right? It's a coordinated. So, yeah, but US will have to print a lot of dollars right now. They will have to print something like a 9 trillion. So they will make another like a 30% devaluation of the dollar. But it's going to be global. So what will benefit? It's definitely going to be gold and Bitcoin, right? Okay, my friends, what's this? Idea H bar asset. Okay, that would be it. And I see you in the Discord. And I'm looking forward for your charts. No one is posting the charts, my friends. So what you doing? What you doing?